are not human. They can sit in a doctor's surgery and pass the tests and the doctor would not know if it was not an invasive test. Blood pressure, reading, EEG, ECG, they'd pass the test. They'd be a healthy, strong-looking, quite large, muscular-looking man. The person who told us this once had a company, had a corporation, and the name of that corporation was Cyberdyne. Anyone seen the Terminator movies? Okay. This is a reference to what we heard yesterday about how the reality merges into the Hollywood movie industry as a way of, I believe, primarily as a way of disguising the truth, because when somebody says, hey, you know, these stargates are real, then they get laughed at because it was just something that came out of a movie script. This is how they hide things like that. Cyberdyne is one of those examples. The person who told us this, we pushed quite a lot. We had quite an interesting conversation about it, and we were given to understand that one of the functions, one of the many functions of these soldiers, for lack of a better word, of course they can go into space without any problem at all. They don't need to breathe. And the numbers of these soldiers, we were told, was something in the region of 15,000. They've never been deployed in combat, we were told, because then their existence would be revealed. But whoever the enemy is, and we're not sure in this context, they are given to believe that they exist, but they've never been used. Now, that's pretty much all I know. I'd like to ask Dave and Duncan here whether this fits with what you believe you understand. This is a conversation we haven't had.
It of necessity has to fit. I mean, Bill gave an analogy with airplanes on the generations. Let's take a better look. Let's take a look at computers. 1962, when I was first introduced to computers, that almost filled this room. Yet I have one sitting on my desk. Well, I have 6 computers in my network at home. I happen to like to play with computers. That is just, that computer is 3 years old. It has more computing power than the first 5 computers they built that were the size of this room. Now it used to be every 2 years, then it was every 18 months. Now it's every year. They double the capacity and abilities of microprocessor chips. Microprocessor chips about the size of a $50. Used to be they had one computer chip system inside here. Then there was 2. Now there's 4. Same size chip. So his analogy that he wants is, what's the 4th generation like? They're probably in 5th or 6th generation by now. That to me is absolutely terrifying. And I'm scared of damn few things in this world. And we're not talking about the yellow snake either. All right, I'll confess, I hate snakes.
Let me do something. I won't do it to you. Listen, long and short, you do not create an army unless you intend to deploy that army. This 4th generation super soldier, warrior soldier, whatever you want to call it, are some bad people. I couldn't stop one. I was the best we had at my generation. I cannot stop one. The possibility is very, very real. They will be turned loose on the American populace. What do you want to do about it? I want to stop it. If they turn this 4th generation loose on us, we're toast. And they will try to reactivate each and every one of us from 1st, 2nd, and 3rd generation to join with them. If we don't expose them now and try to at least put up a blockade, we will not have a chance. They are that good. They are that strong. They are that invincible. We have very, very little time in which to pull this thing off. So what do you want to do about it?
Just a little data point which I've just remembered. We were told that 2 of these can pick up an Abrams tank.
One thing. I can do a 1,000-pound deadlift at 49 years old and a broken neck. My neck was broken in 3 places in my car accident. I was never supposed to lift anything heavier than a cup of coffee. I can deadlift 1,000 pounds. That's first generation. What Bill just said about fourth generation. Think about it.
I just want to add that it's not, we have been told, okay, can't say where our source came from, but that Duncan's quite right, that the American people, for one, our target, could be the targets of some of this army at some point, okay, in the future. We were also told that a war is anticipated, if you will, 1 with China, and 2 with visiting races off planet. Okay? And that these beings that are being created actually have the capacity to handle that situation. And all of this is absolutely top secret, absolutely. And the fact that Duncan is coming forward, and Dave Corso, and the fact that they found each other means that there's a power higher and more powerful than anything created by man. It's testimony to that. The fact that we are finding each other. There's some other people in this audience today that found us and found Dave Corso and Duncan. And they were involved as well. And some of them don't even know how deep yet, okay? Some of those people were used, again, against their will. And I have to say that, you know, there are a lot of soldiers out there being used in very many different ways that they don't realize. There are also people, sleepers, all around us that are being used even at night in their, if you want to call it their light body, being used, okay, being trained, being utilized. So this is a very deep rabbit hole, so I just wanted to sort of paint that for you a bit. Say that again? Blockade.
Oh, no, I said throw up a block to try, like playing football, to try to put a block up so that they can't get to you. Information. We need as many people to come forward as possible. We need you. Anything an individual can do, even if it's as little